It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports, and there's no love lost between these AFC West foes. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Coming up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
And off we go from Denver. Takes it at the 7. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And I think that even after a decade in the NFL, he doesn't get enough credit for not just his consistency, but his brilliant play and leadership as well. He's won a Super Bowl in Seattle. He's led his team to another Super Bowl opportunity also in Seattle. His numbers are always terrific, almost always in the Pro Bowl, and all his team does is win. This guy's a natural leader.
They begin the drive with Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
They go play action with Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Boy, nearly intercepted right away.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wilson. And going for Hamler, but this is intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Offensively, a far from ideal start there with a pick on the opening drive.
Yeah, not exactly what they were looking for. We know that. That's pretty obvious. The beauty, though, is it's happening early. If they don't panic, they don't compound this problem, they've got a long way to go and a chance to get back in it.
The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
Here we go. They can't stop. Let's go, Parker. Let's go. Let's go do this thing, baby. Let's go.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And that'll be caught by Tony. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 39, Mahomes. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And the Broncos are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Let's go, baby. Turn it up. Let's go, man. This is where you step up. Let's ride, dog. I'm trying to take it to the left.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
From the 39, Wilson. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. On third down, Wilson. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. That'll give him 8 that time. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on fourth down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Two yards, good enough for a first.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Mahomes now on first down. Throw left side, complete to Tony. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Mahomes going to throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Tony. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was. And now it's 3rd down.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Now Mahomes. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, it's all about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. And this one a 41-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. From the 6. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 19-yard line. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now Wilson. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep is Kadarius Toney. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This is taken around the 12. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On play action, it's Mahomes. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
That's what it is, guys. That's what it is, baby. Get him going. Let's go now. Let's go.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Right back to Tony. He's got another one. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. This is caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling bringing in that one from Patrick Mahomes. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead grows to 10-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Set to take over, the Broncos offense trots back out. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10.
Who's going to make a play, baby? Show 'em what you got.
Here's Wilson. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. A give to Williams, running right. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. They're looking for Judy, but it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd down, McKinnon. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Marquez Valdez-Scantling bringing in that one from Patrick Mahomes. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Butker now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Denver's offense ready to go again. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now Williams running left. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. The offense on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. Here's Wilson. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And they'll run the end around here with Judy. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Off the draw, here's Williams. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Offensive linemen are famous for doing their job no matter who's carrying the ball. But when they have the confidence that the person carrying it can break off big-time runs, it makes them block just a little bit harder.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Toward the pylon, caught. And he is out of bounds here. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal. Now Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Greg Dulcich there to make the grab. And the Broncos are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
A try here for the extra point. And it's 17-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And a Greg Dulcich touchdown reception finished that drive off. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And now here comes Kansas City. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
On 1st down, Mahomes. And that'll be caught by Tony. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Got a man, that's Richie James. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Throwing now is Mahomes. And this throw will be intercepted. picked off by Josie Jewell. And the Broncos are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. They'll have good field position at midfield following the turnover as they start with a first down here. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Wilson. Open man Hamler, that's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Oh, we gotta do our job, man.
Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And his kick here is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Well, the Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for Kansas City. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they too didn't throw the ball as well as they would have liked. And I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. Fielded right around the 8. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And the Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
From the 27, Mahomes. That's complete to Tony. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Now Mahomes. Slant route, that's complete to Travis Kelce. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
On first down now, run with McKinnon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Mahomes. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
It doesn't look like this defense found the magic elixir at halftime. This offense was rolling in the first half, and that's continued here in the third quarter. Another big play right there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Bring it. I know you hype. I know you hype. Let's go do this thing.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Straight ahead they go with McKinnon. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside, but you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space, and that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. Touchdown. Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelce, on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. They make their 2nd half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off the option, here's Williams. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you've got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Got a man. It's Judy complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Wilson. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
They give it to Williams, running right. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 62 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal. Williams will take it in. Touchdown, Denver. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we have put our best foot forward. But we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 24-17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. As the offense reemerges, there's wide receiver Kadarius Toney leading him out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's 2nd down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You talk about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes got a man, and he hits him in stride.
This is the call before this. Let's go, baby.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the 1st down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football.
They can't stop.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
That's certainly one way to beat the blitz. Get it out of your hands quickly and get it to the big fella.
Very effective. Saw the pressure, got rid of it, and the completion ensued. Working with a 2nd and 4. From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Open man is Fortson. He's got it. And he is going to lose yardage here. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And This one will not work out. It is incomplete. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 44. Now Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Let's dominate this.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Second and 8.
Here's Wilson to throw. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick.
And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 31-yard line.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams.
And he's got it down to the 28.
On 2nd and 7, but Wilson, his throw incomplete.
KJ Hamler, the intended receiver.
And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the 6th sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. Oh, he's got a little daylight. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
My high school football coach was very fond of saying, you've got to meet force with force. And on a short yardage running play, that's what you're going to encounter. And how about them picking up the 1st down on that one?
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Got his man complete over the middle. It's James. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards, the final tally. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That one's on the former Patriot, Joe Thuney.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And they'll get him down right around the 16.
Alex Singleton, the linebacker, there on the tackle.
As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
52 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Chiefs have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is up to 14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
From the 6. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At their own 21. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Here's Wilson. Got a man open. It's Sutton.
A couple of veterans, Wilson to Sutton there for the Bronco first.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson.
Screenplay set up for Williams.
A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Forced out to his left. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Chiefs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback rolling left and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
We gotta be big time now. Get something together.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Handoff, it's McKinnon. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game.
Get something together. Let's rock and roll, baby.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down.
And that's caught by Williams.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field.
And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.